Executor, I know that you still grieve for the loss of your comrade, Fenix. But remember that he lived and died as a Templar. He has reached the Kala's end. There is no greater glory than that. We Judicator are called to look beyond such matters, to ensure the safety and future of our people. It is not the Zerg, but the rogue Tassadar, who represents the greatest threat to us now.
My concern is for the safety of Ire, not the judgments of the Conclave. Executor, only the Dark Templar's power can truly harm the Zerg. That is why we must rescue Zeratul and return him to Ire.
Unthinkable. You presume that we would side with the Dark Ones as you have? You have gone quite mad, Tassadar.
You shall speak of them with respect, Aldaris. Don't let him control you, Executor. There is much that I can explain to you. If only you'll help me find Zeratul. How may I help? Yes, Executor? Your will, it shall be done. Your will, it shall be done. Of course. For Adun, Tarakala. Isatu. Your will. I hear you. How may I help? Of course. It shall be done. For Adun, I hear you. How may I help? It shall be done. Yes, Executor. It shall be done. Your will? Yes, Executor. Your will? Of course. It shall be done. Isatu! I hear you. Isatu! Honor guide me. Thus I serve.
Teleportation field activated.
What man calls?
Hey, you're not allowed in here.
Security cameras activated.
Guide me. Thus I serve. How may I help? For Adun. Yes, Executor. It shall be done. How may I help? For Adun. Of course. It shall be done. For Adun. Tarakala. Of course. Tarakala. Of course. For Adun. It shall be done. Of course. Tarakala. It shall be done. It shall be done. Yes, Executor. I hear you. Of course. Tarakala. For Adun. Isatu. I hear you. Tarakala! For Adun! Tarakala! It shall be done. For Adun! How may I help? For Adun! Tarakala! Of course. Yes, Executor? Of course. Tarakala! It shall be done. For Adun! Tarakala! It shall be done. For Adun! What man calls? How may I help? For Adun. Your will? Of course. For Adun. It shall be done. Tarakala. Of course. It shall be done. For Adun. It shall be done. For Adun. Tarakala. Of course. Thus I serve. I hear you. Yes, Executor. Tarakala. I long for combat. Yes, Executor. I long for combat. Your will? I hear you. Yes, Executor. How may I help? Of course. For Adun. Tarakala. What man calls? Gaukula. What man calls? Thus I serve. Tarakala. For Adun. Tarakala. Of course. It shall be done. For Adun. I hear you. How may I help? Of course. I hear you. Tarakala. Will. I long for combat. Of course. For Adun. Yes, Executor. Of course.
You rebel scum.
It shall be done. Yes, Executor. Tarakala. For Adun. Tarakala.
Tassadar, your taste in companions grows ever more inexplicable. Do you truly expect us to believe that your intentions here are honorable? That these Zerg here are not under your sway?
Enough! Eldaris, this madness must stop. For Adun. Of course. Tarakala. Of course. For Adun. It shall be done. How may I help? For Adun. It shall be done. Tarakala. It shall be done. For Adun. Of course. For Adun. Tarakala. For Adun. It shall be done. I hear you. Tarakala. Of course. It shall be done. How may I help? Of course. It shall be done. How may I help? Tarakala. For Adun. Of course. Your will? Tarakala. Will? Tarakala. I hear you. For Adun. Yes, Executor. How may I help? For Adun. Tarakala. Yes, Executor. Of course. It shall be done. For Adun. Tarakala. Of course. It shall be done. Tarakala. How may I help? Tarakala. It shall be done. For Adun. Tarakala.
Teleportation field activated.
Your will? It shall be done. How may I help? For Adun. Of course. Tarakala.
Unauthorized entry detected.
Of course. It shall be done. Yes, Executor. It shall be done. For Adun. How may I help? It shall be done. I hear you.
It's them. Blast them.
For Adun. Of course.
I long for combat.
Of course. It shall be done. For Adun. Tarakala. For Adun. Tarakala. Of course. It shall be done. Tarakala. For Adun. Tarakala. Of course. For Adun. How may I help? For Adun. It shall be done. Of course. Tarakala. It shall be done. Will? Of course. Yes, Executor? I hear you. Of course. Tarakala! You have my thanks, Executor. Now let us find Zeratul and speed our way home. Your will?